Welcome back to Relatively Speaking 2020. My name is Rosemary. Today I'm going to do a collective card read and a little bit different. I'm actually going to use the regular tarot, but this particular deck I have is a folklore deity deck. And I'm actually going to do a read for the collective. And if you'd like to meet my cat Simba, one of the few animals that I do take care of here, as again, I do not have a reliable source of income because I come to help people spiritually grow and give messages and pass it on and channels from source. So today's read I feel is a little different. I have been outside connecting this morning. If anybody is wondering about that, with just the energy, sun in my space, wind, even though there really is no wind, I do play with that a bit. And I don't necessarily pay attention to, not necessarily pay attention to the news. I have a few things come up in the news already, but I have more of a feeling of what the collective is going through. Energetically as a whole, you can tap into that. It is a lot to channel those energies as well. And when I close out this reading for it, I'm actually going to give a message out and actually push it out through the library that I do contain. And also I'm able to feel that, but I feel what energies are returning from that library, from the collective emotions that are going out and coming in. And I'm able to make it just one directional, so it's not unidirectional, so it's not so overwhelming at times. So right now I'm sitting in a comfortable place, comfortable position, I say energetically. I do understand what is going on out in the world. We actually do within our Relatively Speaking 2020. I'm going to draw a few cards for the collective here. I'm keeping my energy out of this. I'm just going to channel straight from source what the energy is saying. And this is actually for the collective for today, for July 6th, that it is. And apologies for not having a video out yesterday. I took a day to disconnect and very much center and just kind of be in observer mode right now. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. I'm going to do a 4 card, and I'm going to use a different deck. And to get some clarifiers on these cards right now. And what is the most important message at this moment that's going on also within the world in a multiversal realm? Because when I do the folklore deity deck, it is more of a multiversal deck, at least for myself. This is the way I connect to it, because each perception of each myth is something new. So I do have these 4 cards. I have the 8 of Wands reverse. It's actually one of the birds that brought fire in a Native American myth, I believe, in this particular deck. I also have the Ace of Wands, which is the creativity part, a new venture. So these are all domestic affairs. They're not so much worldly at this point, so more local to yourself, but also the way that it goes out in a multiversal sense. Again, I'm reading for the entirety of the collective that's out there and what energies are coming through. Some people do not realize that you're not all in the same observable space. You may see something happen on the news. You may see something happen within being reported on Facebook, but you may not be actually in that space. It is somebody else who is observing it. And you're not on the same radio station as we talked about this morning in our podcast story time that I had with Jazz. I would hope that you guys would join that, and also feel free to share your story. Feel free to come and join the community. We are having a community build. We actually have a safe space for people who are just waking up, for people who are been awake and aware, and people who are pretty much progressed on their path and would like to learn more or share skills, be a teacher yourself. So this is something, this is the rainbow crow from North America. So I'm going to say, and this is something to do, again, when I was talking locally, people who are in North America themselves, something on this hemisphere, but it is the Eight of Wands, which represents quick, decisive actions. Something very fast. Obviously, you see that he's holding the wand with fire in this crow's mouth, and flies quickly to deliver warmth to the cold earth below, singeing its wings in the process. His sacrifice and swift journey are fruitful. So it is reversed. So this is something about timeliness, but also about bad timing, about being slow, about lethargy, delays, about frustrations right now. Things not, and again, I don't follow all of the news. I just see what or hear from other parties. Some people are dealing with social injustices, and some people are in their mode to make journeys, but they're not actually making that journey yet. Something is delaying that journey right now. Maybe you're having something being told to delay because, again, it is for the cold, being something to delay before the winter, to not make a move until the fall or wait until the cusp of winter. And this is talking about bringing warmth, so a fire, a swift movement, that passion part, and it being delayed, maybe your own frustrations about holding yourself back in here, or actually having, again, these social situations that are going on. There are paradigms that are falling. These timelines are actually collapsing into one timeline. So in order to collapse things into one timeline, again, it's kind of like Minecraft. You destroy a tree or a piece of dirt, a chunk, to actually build a house, a town, a city, to get supplies to survive. And as much as we're doing that as human beings on a rate that is not symbiotic with Gaia, we're not rebuilding something that could be used fruitfully. There are causes and there's effects to those. What we're causing is an effect to said damages going on. Now, the Ace of Wands talks about a new beginning. So again, we go from this delay to this new beginning. So something is delaying some people from their new beginning. On a personal level, if you're reading and it's not an overall collective, you may be delaying yourself, holding yourself back. On an overall collective, on a global collective, I feel that the crow, especially being rainbow colored now, is talking about this healing. A lot of people call the quantum hypno healing therapy, but the sessions, but what we call in here the event horizon, a delay because of frustration or being held back, a lack, a lull in it, and it may be, and it's divine timing. Obviously, I do believe that things are in divine timing. And this being the magic paintbrush from China, which is a folklore, it represents inspiration. So a sudden creative force. A magic paintbrush embodies these qualities with passion and daring. The magic moment right before the ink hits the paper and all dreams and possibilities are within reach. So this is your growth, your new beginning, your spark that is happening. And again, these are both fire signs. And it's funny because even the Seven of Coins, which I have here, embodies fire as well. So a burning passion is what I'm getting from this read so far. And does obviously go with the emotions, with the Six of Cups that I have. An emotional read, but then also this layer of fire, this creativity, this stopping, this delay that's happening when people are holding themselves back, and that moment right before the breath, before breathing out and having that moment of creation, of the Big Bang, of the first sigh, of Om at the beginning of the circle. So this is that passion breaking through. This is the shifting again from 8, and which is reversed right now. This, if you're in the current below, you're seeing the chaotic stuff below. Or if you're in that vibrational frequency where you're in the lull, in the lethargy part, in the frustration part, instead of accepting, again, the divine timing, but also starting to make moves for yourself, and the collective, and this releasing this burning passion within you. And again, these are mirrored with certain spaces. A lot of what we see out here, yes, we are also creating is reflecting within us, but there is an overall live server that's actually trumps all of these other, all even our creation abilities. There is an actual live server that does have a bit more control, a source point. So they reflect back into those spaces. Okay, so this is igniting your passion. And your 7 of coins, it is upside down. So I would think it would be a bit of loss or a bit of stagnation within the funding coming in, stability, and 7 being a number that is basically a balanced number. 7th chakra is when they're all aligned. This is saying that there is a imbalance, instability at this point. And I'm going to go with the passion side of this because, again, fire, your passions, your inspirations, fire, again, in the Ace of Wands, your creativity and igniting that, and then having the passion kind of delayed because there is an imbalance going on, especially maybe in the funding part. And this is actually, it's funny because this is Mexico. This is the Aztec mythology. I don't want to butcher this. It's Nanahuatzin. The 7 of coins represents the desire for good harvest, though it might require sacrifice. Nanahuatzin must determine when it is right to be patient, when it is better to scrap everything to start fresh. So this is actually, this reverseness is procrastination, again, more delays. And having the short-sightedness, not seeing an entire picture. And again, this is me reading for an entire collective at this point, and also reflecting back. This is setbacks, laziness, not having that spark, not having that alignment to do this, that to have that harvest. And again, I want to go with having the spark to actually start your passion, igniting it within yourself. And it does go with, again, emotions. This is a 6 of Cups, and 6 being more of a balanced, but this particular 6 of Cups in my deck, I think this is a Russian fairy tale in here. Oh, it's from Denmark. So the Snow Queen. The 6 of Cups evokes a nostalgia for sweeter times. Kaya and Gerda are best friends as children, but when Kai is struck with depression, he leaves with the Snow Queen. Through many adventures, Gerda saves him, but by then, innocence is gone. So nostalgia, old friends, simple ways, joy, sharing, and childhood. So this is going to go, I see this as going with a lot of people are having a separation from their inner child, a separation from a divine masculine or divine feminine. A lot of people are on these other journeys, these soulmate journeys, twin flame journeys. They're looking for this alignment, this unconditional love healing. And even though you go through all these adventures, I see Kai is struck with depression, this sadness. And this is going back to the simple joys, the simple ways of life. And I'm going to say as an overall read for a collective, a world collective, the shakeup that's happening, people delaying, we're shifting from 3D, our 3D, what we see material-wise in our world, we're shifting from that material, the money, the materials, the domestic, what you see in the 3D life, your jobs, your workspace, and we're shifting into this, this 5D, this unconditional love. So even though a little bit of innocence is lost on this journey, it is that merging of your childhood simple joys, simple pleasures, the simple things in life. I'm going to go with the 7th fires of Native American prophecy, and the 8th one being your choice as humanity. Do you choose the path of materials and funding and 3D confinements, or do you go the way of going back to the old ways, living off the land, living off earth? And again, as I was saying, with the things that are going on within our world, and the Minecraft reference of being symbiotic and with Earth, with Gaia, creates a better balance for us to live here today. And I'm going to draw from different deck to get a few clarifiers on this. I'm actually going to go with the elements on this one. I have an elemental oracle deck. And I'm not going to reverse these. I'm not. So I'm going to put them underneath. And they are coming out the way they are coming out today. To give us a little bit more clarity on the environment we're working in. What is the elements that we are working in today for this collective, for the collective in general, for the world collective, for the live server collective, the core collective. All right, so what I have is 7 again. I have 44 and 22, which are master numbers. And it's funny because these numbers have been coming up, and 3. Now, it's funny. No, I'm going to pull that one too. It wanted to fly out. All right. So, I just drew 13, which is 4, which is a desert. So now, what we have for the 8 of Wands, again, this fiery, this stagnation, we have darkness in the moon. So this is, and it's 7, which means the balance side. So I'm going to intuitively read these, and I will go back and read the book, but I'm going to intuitively read this right now for this particular card pertaining to this 8 of Wands and the elements that we are also dealing with right now. That this is a lot of the shadow work, or the shadow side of the person. That, again, the moon. What is the dark side of the moon? What is it that you're not seeing? And bring it into the light. And embrace it. None of us are perfect. I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. Other people out here have made mistakes. Nobody is perfect in that. We've said things that we wish we didn't. We're not able to take those back. But we can look at ourselves and go, you know what? Does it make you such a horrible person for losing control of your emotions, for not able to get into your traumas, your triggers, to heal and open up that alignment 7 chakras and embrace that side of you? You go into the darkness, you go into the abyss of yourself, and some people go in and want to destroy that darkness within them. That all the things that they don't like about themselves, that they judge themselves for, and then therefore judge others and don't like other people for. I go in there to embrace that. It is just like the Star Wars Crystal Cave. Not the Crystal Cave, but the Star Wars on Dagobah. Only what will you take with you? Luke had one in there with a lightsaber, intent to destroy that darker self. Which is why his fear, his head was in that helmet for Darth Vader. He was fearing that he would go to the dark side. He was fearing that he wasn't able to control his fears, as was a common theme within that particular movie. And even the control of your emotions. So sometimes it's not an easy task when things are getting thrown at you at this particular time. Again, we have all these 8 of Wands. We're having all of this come at us at a particular time. We're shifting timelines. If you're not aware, there's a lot of shifting going on today. The energy is very thick and dense today. So this darkness, okay, there are cycles to everything and a season for everything. Do not push yourself when the tides are against you. Do not be afraid of the darkness, as the darkness is as necessary as the light. Rest and repair. The divine feminine in all her forms is rising. The time for introversion, stability, and planning is here. So, and this actually comes from the word of power, a Norse word called Lysa, which it's funny because I do remember Lysa becoming a different word in one of Mystic Vicky's decks as well. I think it was Lys or Los. And it actually means to illuminate the darkness. So this is bringing everything into the light, as I was saying. Again, I haven't read much of the book part. It's also an element of air. And so is the 8 of Wands is actually an element of air with the crow. But also being, again, even though it's telling you that there's this laziness, there's this delay, this is telling you to really go inside and figure out where those delays are coming from. That darkness that's inside, bring it into alignment. Divine timing. Again, this feminine, the divine feminine is rising right now. And it's actually rising, but it's more in coming in balance. people are saying, okay, the divine feminine is going to rise. This is actually about balance. This is about bringing the divine feminine back into balance, because it has been subjugated in our society for tens of thousands of years. If you go back and look at history itself, this is bringing that balance back in. How women themselves, or the feminine, you don't have to be a woman. Again, some people are inside their bodies and they're feminine inside a masculine body. It is bringing that energy inside of you in balance. And it's saying that there are cycles and seasons for everything. So don't push yourself when the tides are against you. So as I was saying that this was bringing light to something that was cold, again, the darkness, this card, as it was, and it's being delayed, there's a reason for that imbalance. There's a divine timing for it. And I kept saying, like, before winter, so fall, and fall has been coming up a lot, and a lot of visions I have, a lot of visions I share with other people, and other people have as well, and other card reads, and some of the collective, it's just been popping in a lot, is the fall. And some of these numbers, 22, 44, I've seen 1044, I've seen 1111, 111. All of these numbers are popping up. They are giving you symbol signs from your higher self, your guides. They're guiding you. Pay attention to those symbols. Like I said, don't be afraid of the dark. Do not be afraid of the darkness, as the darkness is as necessary as the light. We're not here to defeat darkness. We're actually here to light it up, show all of it what it is, the truth, there it is, and then integrate and have that transmutation. Respect that the cat isn't always evil for eating a mouse. To the mouse's perspective, the cat is very much evil. To the cat, it is doing its job, its duty, its purpose to circle of life, to end that mouse, to be the hunter. That is what its purpose, its inner purpose was, this instinctual purpose, which is, again, all shadow is that instinctual side. So bring light to what is keeping you delayed, and that delayment is for your healing, I believe. I generally believe this is for your healing and alignment. Again, this goes with having these delays here, the 7 of coins, this healing that's taking place, the 6 of cups, divine masculine and feminine. So number 44, which is master number, you can break that down into 8 again, which is a divine infinite number. But 44 in itself is also a master number, as well, most of them are when they're double numbers. This one is actually talking about the connection part, the biome. And it's funny because, again, it does, they do relate to this card, that it's below the Ace of Wands, the creativity, the igniting your passion. This is actually making that connection in yourself and with your community. So this is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You are asked for synergy at present. Be aware of the needs of others. You are a part of the same whole. Consider working more closely with your community. And as I was talking earlier about working in a community, it may be that your passion that you're igniting, when you're aligning yourself to understand that your perspective includes other perspectives as well, especially in a community sense, and how there are different biomes that actually create an entire world. They have separate parts, but together they actually create this entirety. They create this world. They create a symbiotic synergy relationship with Gaia, as I've been talking about. So you can have small biomes. You have these small little worlds going on with, like, bacteria. And you have larger worlds going on where galaxies. And if you actually look at it, galaxies and Earth itself, they're living. It's actually living. Stars, celestial light is living. It is living, breathing, and it has the same cycles as does just even in our 3D as being a human being. So this is telling people, giving them a pointer at this particular time, again, going with the 8th fire of to bring yourself in alignment. Ignite the passion side of you. A lot of people are in this lack of motivation. Again, this lack of motivation, this tiredness, this lethargy. They're in this kind of, they see the world and they see that they're not able to do it or have the control. And again, it is having control over yourself. When you have control of yourself, you have control of your domain. you're able to then help people more effectively bring that energy and push it out and bring that back in. And with the timelines collapsing, as I've been saying, into one timeline, it is creating a biome, a community space where you are living in synergy with other people, with other energies, and it actually creates that home space, bringing home here. The next one I have is 22, which is it's an air card. In the biome, I believe that's an earth card, yes. So this is 22, this is motion air. So this is actually countering the instability of the material part. This is saying right now to take motion, to move. It is 22, it would equal 4. But again, another master number, and I believe it means a master architect. I believe that's what 22 is. And it's creating that movement, the flow. And I'll bring it in. So this motion, it's telling you to be flexible, yet grounded. Allow yourself free thought. Move and choose. Find your freedom. It's that flow state. Use your voice resourcefully. Stand up for what you believe in. Be mindful of the way you communicate. Communications at this time in a material world may start to be cut off. There is a lot of, again, energy movements in the collective going on. And an overworldly sense, so we have air, we have earth right now, we have another air. With this fire, again, when you ignite a fire, air actually pushes that, moves that. And this is telling you to move and choose, to not be stagnant. This is actually getting us to understand what it is. What is it that you are bringing into this world through the home space? Again, money is a paradigm. It's a thought wave. It is not what was here before in the beginning times. It's not what was what we use. We use barter. We use law, the universal law of exchange. We use bartered skills. You bartered food. Maybe you have, hey, you know what? I don't have any food. I'm out of food. Again, I've been doing my best to just feed my animals. Maybe I could trade something that you need, that you may have food. You have harvested. You have apples. You could give me some apples. Maybe you have animal food. Maybe you're a vet and you actually know how to treat animals and you're not in a job and somebody's animal's hurt, and you know what? I may have food and you require food and I need help with an animal or require help for my animal. So again, it goes with taking this laziness, procrastination, and actually start taking movement. Start your movement. Start your story. Start your life. Start choosing. And do it, be flexible yet grounded. So be the tree in which it is rooted, but it is flexible. Kind of goes with I believe a willow card, which is in the Kosh. It kept coming up as well. But when the breeze comes through and the wind comes through, if the trees weren't flexible, all of their branches would snap. They wouldn't survive. So it is having that flexibility to flow in the moment and choose. Find your freedom. A lot of freedoms are being questioned right now. They're being taken away. They're being subjugated on in people in the world right now. We do have a lot of body freedoms being taken away. We have our freedom and choice being taken away. And a lot of it is to do with this stability and money, this material greed a lot. A lot of people are not seeing that it's not always about material. I get it that you want to be stable. When you're in a flow state, when you're in a 0 point state, and I'm going to use the tarot card that I've been making my own deck. When you're in a 0 point state, when that source energy comes into you and flows and drops, you stand as the eye of the hurricane. That which goes out to you will help flow back into you, like the waters will overflow your cup. And you are provided for. To know that, to manifest that in your head, to believe that, have that within you, that yes, you can survive. A lot of light works have been through the most toughest times, that survival mode. But we're at a place now that we've done that internal work in our shadow. We are bringing into alignment. We are working in synergy with Earth, with Source, with Gaia. And you're at a space now that when you make a choice, when you flow with it, when you react with, when you feel it, you will know where you're going. You will know that you are provided for, that which you will require will come to you. Some people, what's the song? Can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. I have under the Six of Cups, which would be the emotion. And actually these two cards are, because again, this card flew out. I'm going to take these two cards with this Six of Cups, this emotion. A lot of you are on a soulmate twin journey, twin flame journey. Some of people are tethered energetically to other people remotely. This is telling you that innocent part, that healing part is going to happen. But this is talking about beginnings in the East. The sun comes up in the East. This is 3. It's a divine Trinity number, is having that 3. Sun comes up in the East. New beginning in the East. And it does, again, beginnings. So worry not. A new dawn is breaking. Let go of the old and embrace the new. Flow forward without heaviness or anxiety. New ways of being are calling to you. Speak up with a clear voice. Do not resist change. Again, this goes with the flow, the doing the shadow work, embracing yourself, stopping the stagnation within yourself, but also recognizing divine timing. And again, timing-wise, I strongly feel movement, a union, a movement, changes heavy in the fall. I keep seeing that come up. It's even come up in my reads and my other deck, which I will pull out last. I will pull out another row here. Well, second to last. I'll have 2 other cards that I'm going to do, or 2 other decks from, or another deck that I'm going to choose from, sorry. And you're creating passion, this synergy here with 44 on your biome. And this is the flow, this new beginning. It's telling you not to be afraid. No fears. And this is what we talk about within our Discord server in our community. No worries. No doubts. The fear base that creates this anxiety, the need words. I need to do this. It creates an anxiety. The no doubts, the if. Well, if this and this, that brings you down those rabbit holes that causes anxiety in your brain, that actually doubt leads to death. The moment you hesitate and you're not sitting in your alignment, that moment could lead to death, even if it's just of an idea. That is one of the other sayings we also have within the school. And this is saying to go with your gut in a way, but also, again, it's like going with source, being completely in balance, being in that flow state, having that new beginning. It does go with the Ace of Wands. And I see this new beginning happening, especially in emotions, and love, even in a sense, because these are 6 of Cups, and there's actually roses sitting in all these cups, and you can see they're giving each other a gift, a cup. Even though they're far apart, they're still giving themselves a gift. And here's the raven again at the top, or the crow, the messenger, to the spirit realm. The new place in the background, the higher elevations, the growth. So this is taking that leap of faith. This is knowing that beginning comes. We know the sun comes up in the east. We know that happens. So having that faith, losing the anxiety, flow forward without heaviness. Again, I was just saying in the beginning of this, the air is a little bit heavy. The energy is heavy today. It's almost like humid to breathe sometimes. And it is taking that self-care also, I believe. And here's 13, which is another one that came out, which is solitariness or desert. And 13 is 4. And it actually shows a lady on a swing in a desert with birds, shining light on a tree in a desert with light above her, sparkling out. And again, I feel like this is doing with that union. Not only, some people are in a twin flame journey. Some people don't realize too that a lot of the twin flame journey is also within yourself. You are balancing your divine masculine in yourself with your divine feminine. When you're a full spectrum entity, a light being, when you become full spectrum, you have every mask available. You can play every mask, every part, and you can tap into that masculine side, the warrior side. You can tap into the nurturing lover side. And again, it doesn't mean that one's masculine or feminine. That is the yin yang. That is having, and again, there is, in a yin yang, when you're in balance, it doesn't mean that something is completely all good. There is that one little piece that has the darkness. It is actually portaled and connected to the other side, to the inside, which is the darkness. And it has that one bit of light in it, like a star. It shows the embodiment with space itself, outer space, and having points of stars, pinpricks. So this solitariness, this is a difference between being alone or solitary and being lonely. So feeling confident to spend time alone is powerful. You do not need so much. Don't need so much. Work on developing simplicity, which again goes back to, I believe it was the simple joys, enjoying them. There is more to life than accumulating objects, materials. You can be resilient and adapt to difficult circumstances. And this word of power comes from, there's a word of power comes sectus, or Latin for separate. This is a fire. So we, in essence, have all elements here. We have air, we have the movement, you have the darkness, you have a life, which is fire. So, okay, so the thing, all right, I'm going to read a little bit. So people who live in deserts have traditionally been nomadic. So moving with their prey or where food may be. So it is that the flow state. These people take only what they need and carry only what is necessary, but have rich cultural and spiritual lives. I feel like this card is, again, this is about movement. And for the collective, it is time for us to take movement. And like the Force, like Star Wars, it's take only what you take, only what you take with you is what goes, right? But also, don't trust your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you. Go inside and feel the Force. Feel source within you flow. Have that flow within you. That fire, that passion. Again, a fire theme here. Emotions. Seeing a new beginning starting and not having that fear about it. There will be people to guide you. You have your own internal guides as well if you are alone. Again, this is not talking about loneliness. It's talking about being solitary, but also adapting. There may be times that things are happening in this world and you may feel alone in a 3D sense. You're never alone. And if you're able to control yourself and trust yourself when you are alone and be able to adapt and flow, there's nothing that can stop you. You're independent in that sense. You're not codependent. You're independent. You're connected to your higher self. And you, therefore, are your highest self at that time. The more that we go on these paths, the more we progress. Tomorrow is going to be my highest self for tomorrow. Right now, I'm sitting at my highest self. Tomorrow's not written. Better every day, or bed. Sleep, rest. Take that time for yourself. And again, even this lady, she's not alone. She's got, the birds are there with her. She's got source or the sun warming her. She is wearing white, and it does look like a wedding dress. So again, I was just talking about unions. And I was talking about it within the fall. Again, a harvest, a desert. Things are starting to wither. So before winter or by winter, I believe these are time signifiers. Again, the future's not written. It could be next year. You may even, with earth changes going on, with the synergy going on, it may look like it's fall and it could actually be summer. It may look like it's winter and it's still fall. So I'm going to draw 4 of the sacred power ones to help have spirit. What are the messages that we can to actually help into this flow state? What is it for the collective? For the Live Servo Collective, for the Core Collective. What is it that Spirit would like us, Source would like this, which messages I'm channeling through from the library, from the collective itself? I am tapping into energy. It is a lot of energy being going through me. What messages are coming through for this time? And how are we able to traverse this? What is the best and grounding part of it? Our way of traveling. A way of paying attention. And some of us may be told to just wait in our space. Some of us are being told to move. I do believe if you want that creative passion, you want that to happen, the initiation of it, of a project, of a community, that it is time to act now. That this alignment has been happening, again, with the numbers. So it's time for us to start moving. I'm gonna keep them. So what I have here is, I'm gonna go again when we go down. So I have self-love. Again, this is healing that inner child. This one's come up quite a lot in the reads, and I have been shuffling these cards for a bit. I've shuffled them left, right, upside down. This is about doing that shadow work and loving yourself, that self. Again, see the inner child inside of her. Bringing that self-love inside of you, that light inside of you. Having known that, okay, you know what, I'm not a perfect person. And people are in this now, when you're in that fear base, you're condemning yourself to that hell space in your head over and over and over. You're just playing it again. Instead of, okay, I get it. That particular time wasn't great. It may have hurt people. I can go and help those people I can hurt. I can go, hey, you know what? I apologize. I was not at my best. I didn't intend to hurt you. It wasn't what I meant. And some people, you're in an emotional state, and a lot of times you say something that it is said, and in that moment you feel like you're justified and you need it. But then you really step back and go, wait a second, I don't mean to do this. It's a mistake, a mistake. It happens. We can apologize for it. We can recognize it. We can go, okay, what triggered me for this? Let me work on it through that shadow work to come in alignment and have this self-love. And this is actually a card on this card. It's 29. So it's an 11. It's a master number. And this means that balance again, which goes with number 7. Bringing yourself into balance. This is telling you to be courageous. Listen to your own advice. This is talking about that we have this stagnation and movements, these delays happening. This is telling you to take this time to heal inside of you. Bring your light and your dark, your true self in balance, and love yourself. And it says, I nurture the child within me. I am complete, whole, and secure. I am safe. You are safe. You are protected. Your inner child is an aspect of the self, reminiscence of all that you have learned and experienced. Free, spontaneous, creative, full of wonder. Your inner child longs to be in a state of joy, but also requires nurturing, attention, constant reassurance. So consistency. Your inner child feels these extreme emotions because they are lack understanding of why particular circumstances have occurred. Again, that's the trigger. Why did it happen? Why? What's triggering me? You can shift long-standing emotional patterns by working with your inner self. Resolve problems, trauma, and issues that you have found challenging and difficult to address. While you may have grown up quickly or had limited childhood absent of opportunities and experiences, the inner child is an aspect of you that requires love and attention, even as an adult. So emotions are powerful. Like children, adults manipulate, rebel, throw tantrums, and can also put on a brave face for the sake of others. So bringing yourself out of this victim mentality. Just so you know, I had a red-tailed hawk just land on my roof. So bringing all of that inside of you, that be throwing tantrums and be brave, but also figuring what your triggering is. So to create a symbiotic relationship, you, the parent, and your inner child must work in agreement of security, safety, acceptance, and surety. A lot of us get that little voice in our head that go, no, this is right. I wanted that toy. That is that little child coming out. Or you're working with somebody and you go, you know what? I'm bored with it. I don't want to do this. And instead of accepting this person is giving your time, they're giving it to you. And if you feel it's a waste, why? Why is that inside of you? Does it feel like a waste? Is there some way that you could figure out if that's not a conversation or relationship that you want on the outside, then why does that irritate you? Why is it an annoyance? It's not that your cat or dog or your child or your spouse or a person on the street annoys you. Is that you are annoyed with that conversation, with that person, with that relationship, and figure that out why. That is something within you. I would love to go out and just talk with people and have an actual conversation and sometimes just wave to them like I have today and just, how you doing? Random person walking by, hi. To be seen, which has been a bit difficult when you're in a different vibrational space. But to go out and actually lift people up to your vibration then. Don't bring them down. I mean, if you're in a low space and you go up to them and complain you're miserable, sometimes you can go and ask, hey, I have this problem and maybe you have an answer for that. That's why we have a community. That's why we have this community. So this is working through, grieving for the past or circumstances we did not understand at the time. So to create that symbiotic relationship, it's acknowledging that you have been wounded is the first step in shifting your mindset. Self-love is essential right now as there is a child within you needing parental help and advice. That is that passion side that's inside of you. That little child that's like, yes, I want to do this. So, no matter how old you were, it was necessary, for the grieving the past circumstances. Helplessness and confusion or feelings overwhelmed can trigger childlike behavior such as tantrums, manipulation, rebellion, an attempt to get what you want. I myself, and then again, my own inner child healing, and it's happened recently, and it's because I felt that I did not have a childhood growing up. So I felt that I was always a victim of other people and their emotions and not realizing how much I contributed to that situation. Doesn't help. And you can go back and correct, hey, I was wrong. I didn't, I'm sorry that my emotions went that way, that it triggered that in you, that you had a reaction, that I had a reaction, and wanting to change that. So take the time to be playful and curious, be courageous, and learn the power of no. It will shield you from pushy people seeking to compromise your values and integrity. If you were to see the little you now, what sage advice would you give knowing what you know today? So again, this card's come up a few times. And this is about, again, making that the change within yourself to wanting to integrate your darker self, to destroy yourself, but to make that integration in. And again, you get this, you go on this transformation, this phoenix. I am able to transform, conquer, and resolve past issues with strength, courage, and willpower. I choose to transform my life now. This is emotional freedom, brings growth and positive change. So this is, again, we have this desert card. We even have freedom here, actually. And if you see, it's a yin yang. Balance. There's two horses. And it's like you see the heart. Let's bring your heart in balance. It does go with the actual theme of passion, the heart space, the emotions that are going on within a collective space, but also within a world collective. Right now, a lot of people are questioning why they're reacting to certain situations, certain things happening in news, certain happening in other people's spaces. Maybe somebody has something you want and you don't see yourself being able to get it, and you see your hardships, your imbalances, and you start judging yourself, and then you start getting needy or wanty. So, okay, so within each negative experience, such as a physical trauma, spiritual, emotional suffering, you have reached a precipice where new life is forming. So this is the rebirth part. This is the birthing of an idea. This is coming in synergy and balance with the community, with yourself, with your own inner traumas, your experiences, your hardships. And this says if you're in a relationship, the phoenix represents strong change, encouraging you to look within to find self-confidence, independence, and mutual understanding with your significant other. So the change represents the formation of a new relationship, including the relationship we have with ourselves. So this, I'm not going to read, I didn't read all this, but I have the feeling, intuitive that right now that this is about talking about the even relationships with other people. If you are integrating yourself, you are standing in your emotions, your traumas, you understand it. This is talking about being independent in your relationship. A lot of people are in codependent relationships and karmic relationships. They're not able to go a day without a person. They're not able to be themselves around other people because they're afraid of that judgment. They're afraid of that darker self, the things that they're told that you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to watch whatever, watch violence. You're not supposed to play a violent video game. You're not supposed to watch naked people. Whatever that paradigm is, this is telling you to be your own independent self. And when this rebirth happens in you, and your partners are connected to you, partners, depends on what relationship you're in, are connected to you, people that are tethered to you, when you lift yourself up and rise out of those ashes, it actually inspires people to lift themselves too and want to follow you, to help you, to be independent, to be them, especially if they're in a codependent relationship. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes the other person goes the other way. Again, this is about being fully you, full spectrum. Becoming in that synergy balance, having your creative ability. And these are air signs, and a lot of them, they don't actually say that, but they're air signs. This particular card is 33, which is another master number, 33, balance, under 44. Okay. I have the sound card, which again is your vibration. It is the frequency, the breath in and out that I was talking about, the beginnings of things, the air, the motion. So sound, move to your own rhythm. Express yourself creatively. I listen to create power within me. I resonate with the beat of the universe. Much like life, music is organized chaos. It can either be beautiful or a potential disaster. It is time now to organize your life, set future goals and plans to support a positive lifestyle. Assess your voice and your tone with others. And are you miscommunicating your emotions to your partner, children, family, friends, or work colleagues? Education and learning new skills is possible now when you are open to creative methods and are bringing new life to projects and career options. Stagnant energy can be transmuted easily through artistic and musical expression. Sketch, draw, paint, sing, dance, or play an instrument to support creativity. Breathe new life into old energy. Now, as where this card was talking about the material and the stagnation, and a lot of people are looking at this, they want their material life, they want that fiery, have that gold in their hands, and being stagnant in it. This lethargic, stagnant, delaying stuff, not being stable. And this is telling you to take motion. Be creative. Go with that creative flow. Open your voice when you align your chakras. And then what happens is it aligns with source, your third eye, all of that aligns. And if anybody is familiar with what I do, I paint music. So I have the vision in my head when I hear the frequency. So even healing through sound. I have the freedom card. So as this will actually set you free. You want your freedom, our birth freedoms, our balance freedom. Two horses, a black one and a white one. Yin yang on the top. And we have freedom. And you see how they're running free, but they're also hearts. They're in tandem with each other. They're actually, do you see the heart? So opening your heart space up, again, your emotions. Having the balance within you. From the child to the adult. From child to the adult. And having that balance as well as your creativity and balance. So I am moving forward in the direction I choose. The movement. It's funny how I have horses on the movement one as well. And it's actually 14, which is 5, so change. Free your spirit, take control of your life now. So I'm moving forward in the direction I choose, bringing me closer to achieving my goals and my divine life purpose. So right now, your soul desires freedom. By removing restrictions, limits, you can move in any direction. Feeling trapped or burdened by family affairs, responsibility, finance, relationships, and or career choices can sometimes make us feel suffocated. Again, this heavy feeling. Your soul is trying to release you from commitments as you yearn for the freedom to make your own choices. Breaking away from old attachments and responsibilities, your soul is asking you to be playful and to have some fun. Again, this does go, have some fun, be creative, go out. The horse asks you to simplify your life. Simplicity has been here, the simple joys. Expand your knowledge. Seek more information before you make future decisions. It is essential through this growth period that you find the freedom that you need to allow yourself to flourish. You have the power to change the direction of your life. And these horses, they're running wild and free. So this is about, yes, you're taking logically in those commitments. You're taking all of that information in, and you're making a divine balanced move in your life. And a lot of people are in, as I said, they're in karmic relationships. Some of them are in karmic with their self. When you're in a karmic relationship and that divine masculine feminine is not balancing yourself, that is that hell space. You're creating that in your head, that turmoil, that chaos. Bringing that in balance. Some people are in actual karmic relationships. They're not seeing that they're in codependent relationships, that they're depending too much on another person, that too much give and not enough take. There's not enough going through. It's not, the cup isn't being balanced correctly. What expectations or limits do you put that restrict you? Even on yourself, but also on other people. Maybe you're expecting somebody to be a certain way. You're expecting them to act a certain way. You're expecting them to get a result a certain way, or do something for you. And a lot of people, it kept coming up as a lot of people, people don't abandon love in a way. I believe it was, they abandoned people that, I forget the, I'm not going to butcher it, so I'm not going to say it. But it's talking about abandoning people. A lot of people are in these moments where they feel abandoned, and that fear kind of rides. That's codependency layer. When you stand in yourself, no matter where you go, even in solitarity, if you're by yourself, you're good. You're never alone. You're balanced with Source. What's the from Star Wars? I'm the Force, and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. You're balanced. You're with Source. You're always with it. Source is always with you. It's inside of you. You're always tethered. And I believe this card is talking about this freedom movement. There is big freedom movements going on. This is for a world collective, big freedom movements right now. People are seeing the reality for what it is, the bullshit for what it is. They're seeing it out in the world, and they're not afraid to go, no, this is not right. You're telling me that I'm not restricting myself. I'm not able to do something with my body. I'm not able to go somewhere without a card, without an ID, without a stamp, without whatever, a shot, a tattoo, anything at all. I'm not able to have the same freedoms as somebody else is. Men can walk topless down the street. Why can I not walk topless down the street? Does it offend somebody? Again, that is a them situation. It's not a you situation. Be free. Be in yourself. Be bold. Speak up. Now is that time. It is that time to end the stagnation, especially in emotions. You want to become, again, motions. We have material worlds, funding, stability. We have this wands, which is, again, is your job, your career, your relationships with people, your relationship with yourself, inner self, the darkness, the light, all of that, the vibration, the frequency, the transformation, the fire within you, the freedom when you're in balance. Go within a lot. It does help. Go within, and a lot of people are thinking about this person and this person. Something happened in the past, it's in the past. I'm not able to go back and change it. I can change how I react to it. I can change my future interactions and go, oh, hey, you know what? I wasn't my greatest here. But I can change any reactions or that I have in a situation similar to this. And going forward, now I can go, okay, I'm not that person anymore. You're shedding skins. You're shedding layers. You're rising from the ashes. And a lot of times we lose everything in order to gain ourselves, to find ourselves. Everything else is shed away and stripped. I'm going to do one card, and normally I do the Oracle of the Roses. Today I'm going to do the Rose Oracle deck. I'm going to do one card as a message from Divine Feminine. And this is also, again, this is talking about Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. This is talking about the healing that takes place. And sometimes the journeys are different between both. The men in society have been just as much ridiculed as females. They're conditioned sometimes, a lot of men are conditioned to control females instead of letting them blossom. To want to program a certain way. And even them, males are conditioned to not show much emotions. Not to be able, you have to be strong. You can't cry. You can't have an emotion. To be more logical. It's about bringing that both in balance. The creative side and the logical side. Both are required for balance. The passionate side. To go out and maybe you want to have an open relationship. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're monogamous. This is personal preference for each person. And it's nothing against anybody else if you're in a relationship with somebody. It's just a personal preference. That's all it is. Doesn't mean you're doing it out of spite. It's who you are when you bring yourself in balance. Keep flipping these. Okay, so this is the Wasteland. This is sustainability, slow down, and tend to your garden. This is a self-care card. This actually did come up in another read at one time. This is being that balance, and actually the one that flipped was the Sacred Waters. So nourishment, the one that was on the bottom, nourishment, replenish, health, rest, self-care. So that is the overall message. It's the waters, the oasis, again, the desert, sustainability. This is telling you that, yes, slow down, but also take movement. That flexibility, that flow. You're able to move, but you don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to rush through it. Take a day to take one thing at a time. To, again, this nourish, this replenishment. Take a break. Self-care. Go inside yourself and bring that balance within. Sustain yourself. Tend to your garden. Tend to you. Be you. Be yourself. And I've had this card read go on for quite a bit. So again, I do card reads. I will put the prices in the description box. I also implore you to check out Mystic Vicky. She's also within our Discord. She does great reads with her Fairy Oracle deck, and she's able to connect with Spirit. So if you need any Spirit advice for Spirit Realm, please come in Discord. You can ask her. This is a collective read. It does go for the collective. It goes for the core collective, and it does go for the live server collective as well. Each one of us also connected to that. And in a overall spread for what's going on in the world, it is staying flexible, flowing. And again, this harvest coming up. There is a harvest. Feel it. A lot of it may be harvesting in yourself. You're being harvested inside of your soul. So, my name is Rosemary. I'm signing off for this card read. I think all my guides, guided by source, I should say, and any angelics, any messages that came through, the people that I've connected to through the collective library, for your information and to help give you and guide you with your information for today. And if you'd like to join us, you have a Discord community. If you'd like to tell your story in story time and help inspire people on their path, help share where you are in yours, your skills, your perspectives, your story is just as important and can help other people. And see how those common threads actually relate to said live server and core collective. So I hope you all have a great day.